So this should be interesting, because this thing alone can actually triple your revenue as a copywriter in the next 30 days if you actually apply it correctly. So today I'm going to talk about the number one thing your favorite copywriting gurus are hiding from you and how to really make money as a copywriter in 2025. So I haven't seen any copywriting guru on the internet right now talking about this. And if they are, they aren't talking about it as much as they should. Because this shit alone is the most important thing in copywriting, by far. There isn't one thing that is more important than what I'm about to talk about in this video. So keep that in mind and watch this video till the end, because it could really make you a fuck of a lot more money than you're making right now. So pay the fuck attention, all right? We'll go into the presentation right now. So I'm gonna switch. Right. Now, as I said, the number one thing that your favorite copywriting gurus are hiding from you and how to really make money as a copywriter in 2025. So pay the fuck attention, all right? Take a pen, take a piece of fucking paper, take notes, open a Google Doc, I don't care, because this shit can really make you a fuck of a lot more money than you're making right now. Keep that in mind, all right? Right, so let's go on. Well, while all your fucking favorite gurus are talking about how to write ads, emails, sales pages, how to be fucking persuasive, how to create intrigue, urgency, scarcity, fucking irresistible offers, and so on. Now, I'm not saying these things are not important, by the way, but they're not nearly as important as what I'm about to talk about in this video. Because they're not talking about the most important thing when it comes to copywriting and marketing in general. Because if you do what I'm about to tell you properly, you don't even need to be that good of a writer. You can be a fucking shit writer and still make money if you do this single thing, this specific thing I'm about to tell you. And I'm living proof of that, right? I'm not a fucking good writer. Believe me, I'm not a good writer. But I understood this principle at an early stage. And this is my revenue for the current year. We're now in April, 20-something April. I don't know, 22 April, 21 April, something like that. I don't know the date. I don't work a 9 to 5. I don't need to know the date. I don't need to know the fucking day of the week, you know? But yeah, we're on 21, 22 April, something like that. And this is my revenue. So from January 2025 till today. $88,653 in how many months are there? I don't know, a few months. And February alone, I made $25,000. In March, I made a little bit less than that. I think 24,000, something like that. So I'm at around, 25,000. And if you watch all of my future videos, you're gonna make a ton of fucking money. So congratulations, you found me. Subscribe. All right. So, and yeah, if you stay till the end, you'll also get access to a bonus resource, a template that can single-handedly 3x your conversion rates as a copywriter and your income as well, almost overnight. So stay till the end, all right? Now, the thing I'm talking about is called market research. Get this through your head. Copywriting is 80% research and 20% writing. Read that again, read it again, read it 10, 20, 50 fucking times until it gets in your fucking head. Because believe me, that's the most important principle in copywriting and marketing in general. And this principle alone will make you a lot of fucking money if you apply it in your copy, all right? So copywriting is 80% research and 20% writing, okay? Now there are two steps to market research. There's the avatar research and there's the product research. And we're gonna talk about each of these steps and how to actually go through them and how to actually apply them inside your copy, all right? Now, step one is avatar research. You need to understand your target audience, that's your avatar, so who you are selling to, before you write any piece of copy. Before you write a word, before you write a single word, you need to understand at a very deep level your target audience and your avatar. All right? Get this through your head. Don't write even one single fucking word before you do this. Please, I beg you. You'll see. You'll see how your copy will improve. You'll see how much money you'll make. You'll see how many more sales your clients are gonna make. Believe me, it will make a huge fucking difference in your conversion rates. All right? Now, as I said, you can be a shit writer and still make more money than a top level writer if you truly understand your target audience. All right? Because if the reader feels that you truly understand them, you know their pains, their desires, their hurdles, they will instantly like and trust you more. All right? So think of it like this. You're trying to fuck a girl, right? You're trying to fuck a girl, and you're not gonna fucking go to her and say, let's have sex, right? Doesn't work. That doesn't fucking work like that. The same with the fucking prospect. You're not gonna tell them, all right, buy this shit because it's good, you know. You need to show them that you understand them. I mean, for the girl example, you need to show her that you understand. You need to know her a little bit. You need to know what's inside her head that makes her a fucking person, you know. And you need to show her that you understand, you know, her fucking patience or bullshit like that, you know. And the same goes with the prospect or with someone who you're trying to convince to buy something. You need to show them first that you understand them so that they can trust you and they can finally buy from you. Because no one buys from people they don't trust, right? So first of all, you need to understand them, then they will trust you, they will like you, and then they will buy, all right? So, as I said, people buy from people they like and trust, all right? Now, here are the main things that you need to understand about your avatar, and keep this in mind. You are going to use all of those things inside your copy. So every time you're going to write copy from now on, you're going to do your research and you're going to use all of these things that I'm going to talk about, and you're going to write them inside your copy. You're going to create your copy based on all of these things. All right? So that's very important. Now, you need to find out, first of all, what kind of people are you talking to? You know, their sex, their approximate age, their occupation, location, worldview beliefs, you know. You can even give him a name. You know, let's say you're talking to fucking Jack, he's overweight, you know, he's fat, his wife doesn't love him anymore. You can even put a little picture in a Google Doc and say, this is Jack, he's fat, his wife doesn't love him anymore, you know, his kids don't respect him, his work colleagues are fucking laughing at him and making fun of him. He's ashamed to go outside because he's too fat, and all the neighbors are laughing. You know, just stuff like that. You know, the more you understand your avatar, the more money you'll make. All right. So you need to understand his current painful state, his desirable dream state, the problems and the roadblocks that have been keeping him from achieving his dream state, and how do they decide if a solution is going to work out or not. So that's very important, right? So let's take the fat guy example, right? Let's say his current painful state, right? He's fat, all right? People are laughing at him. People don't respect him. His family doesn't respect him. He fucking, you know, loses his breath every time he climbs a couple of stairs, you know. He's, I don't know, maybe he has low self-esteem, you know. Maybe he has some fucking health problems, you know, because he's too fucking fat. So you need to identify his current painful state, because you're going to use this inside your copy. Now, his desirable dream state, maybe, you know, he wants to have a six-pack. He wants to fucking, you know, look good in a t-shirt again. He wants to be able to fit inside an M size or L size t-shirt and not have to buy fucking triple XLs, you know, from the fucking store because he's too fat. Maybe he wants, you know, to be attractive to women in general. Maybe he wants to be able to run like he was doing when he was young, you know. So you need to identify his desirable dream state. And after that, you need to identify the problems and roadblocks that have been keeping him from achieving his dream state. So, look, we all know, if a guy is fat, he's a fucking lazy fuck, right? he doesn't have discipline, he can't fucking take his mouth off food, he can't fucking abstain himself from fucking eating donuts every fucking 2 minutes, you know? But you're not gonna write like that, obviously. You're gonna talk about the problems that he thinks have been keeping him back, right? That he thinks are keeping him fat. So maybe you're gonna talk about all the diets that nutritionists are promoting, that are starving him and that, you know, are making him hate his life because he can't eat his favorite foods anymore. Maybe you're gonna talk about his slow metabolism, right? Or the bad methods that other nutritionists or fitness trainers have been giving him. So you need to identify those things. What does he think the problem is, right? Now, of course, there can also be real problems that are keeping people back from achieving their dream state. So let's say, for example, I sell a copywriting coaching program in which I work with people one-on-one and help them reach 10 to 20K a month in the fastest way possible through copywriting. So in my case, the problems of the most people who come to work with me are they don't have a system. They don't know the right steps to take. They don't know the right outreach strategy. They don't know how to actually write copy that converts. They don't know how to actually build marketing campaigns that produce money on autopilot without them having to work more and which can bring them passive income for months on end. So they don't know how to actually do that. They don't know how to reach 10 to 20K a month because they don't have a system, right? So that's a valid problem, right? So you need to identify the real problem of your prospect, of your avatar. But again, if you're selling to fat people, don't be rude, you know, don't tell them they're fucking lazy and undisciplined and that they can't abstain themselves from food because they're gonna click off your ad or your sales page and they're not gonna buy from you, right? So be nice, all right? The most important thing after you identify all of that stuff is you need to identify how do they decide if a solution is going to work out or not. So let's say you're selling a weight loss coaching program, right? What does your prospect need to know exactly? What does he need to hear from you? What does he need to see in order to make the decision to buy? So maybe he wants to see testimonials from other people like him who had success with this method. Maybe he wants to see how the method works. Maybe he wants to see, you know, the science behind the method. Maybe he wants to see that he can lose weight without giving up on his favorite foods, without giving up on fucking donuts, you know? Maybe he wants to hear that he can still eat fucking donuts, eat fucking cake every day, and still lose weight. So you need to understand what your avatar needs to hear, needs to see in order for him to make a buying decision. Because you're gonna use all of that stuff inside your copy and you're gonna skyrocket your conversion rates, right? All right, now, of course, now you might be wondering, where the fuck do you actually get the Rodal info? Don't worry, I got you covered, all right? I got you covered, it's all right. So these are the main places you are going to find all of that information, right? So I've put them here in order of importance. And you're gonna do your research in this exact order, all right? So first is your own clients, existing customers, and testimonials, right? Talk to your client because he knows his avatar better than anyone, right? Ask him about his ideal customer. Ask him about all of that stuff that I've shown you before, right? And after that, look at his testimonials, right? Because they are real people. That's the real avatar that is talking about his experience. His experience with the program, maybe what was his experience with other programs before he tried this program, maybe how his life was, you know, how his fucking painful state was before going in the program. And he's also going to talk about his dream state, maybe, you know, how he's feeling now. Next, the customers and testimonials of your clients' competitors. Fucking go on your competitor's website and look on it, you know, look at his sales pages, look at his fucking webinars, you know, look at his fucking testimonials and write down everything you get. Write down every information you gather about all the states that I've been talking about in the previous slides, right? the painful state, the dream state, the roadblocks, and what he needs to hear in order to buy, right? Write all of those things down because you're going to use them inside your copy, right? Now, as I said, watch maybe your clients or his competitors' websites, his current ads, his marketing materials, right? Everything, webinars, sales pages, VSLs. Watch every fucking thing. Don't rush into it, right? Research everything you can. Find every information you can gather, all right? Because remember, copywriting is 80% research. Is my mic still working? Yeah, it's working. Last time my mic fucking died, so that wasn't good. Right. Now, the next thing you should do is maybe you can talk to anyone who you personally know who matches the target market. So, you know a fat guy? Talk to a fat guy, you know? Ask him, bro, how are you feeling? Why haven't you lost weight? What have you tried in the past, you know? Why do you think it hasn't worked? You know, how would you like to look like? How would you like to feel? What would your life look like if you, let's say, starting tomorrow, you would have your ideal body, right? How would you feel? How would your life look like? How would people look at you, right? Ask him all these questions because that's a real person that is giving you information that can make you literally tens of thousands of fucking dollars, right? Now, very important, you can also search for people oversharing their thoughts and feelings online. You can search on forums like Reddit, you know, you can search on YouTube, you can search on fucking Amazon.com reviews. That's a life hack. This information alone can make you a lot of fucking money. So pay attention, all right? Go on Amazon.com. So let's say you're selling, let's go on with the weight loss example. Go on Amazon.com, search for a fucking weight loss book or something, and read the reviews. And better yet, read the fucking 3-star and under reviews. Because guess what? You're gonna see what the people didn't like about that weight loss method. And you can use all of those things when you promote your clients' program and say, we don't do that, you know, our method doesn't do that, and use all of those negative things and say that your product doesn't do that. Say how your product maybe, you know, solves that problem, you know. So let's say, you know, there was a very strict diet, so people maybe lost weight, but it was a very strict diet. They were starving themselves, and maybe they couldn't keep their weight, and maybe they got fat again because they couldn't keep on with that diet. They couldn't keep on with that lifestyle because it was too restrictive. So say that inside your copy. Say, no, our program doesn't do that. You can eat everything you want. So obviously you're not gonna fucking lie, you know, but make it sound like your product is the best in the world. Make it sound like it solves all of those problems, right? Now, if you actually promote a good product, if you work with a good client, you're not gonna have to lie because your product will actually be good, and you can address all of those problems and say how your product doesn't have those problems, right? So this information alone, this Amazon.com reviews, this is gold, right? So take fucking notes because this will make you a lot of fucking money, believe me. Right, now, bonus tip. Use your avatar's own language and words inside your copy. If you do that, they will instantly trust you more and you skyrocket your conversion rate only by doing this. Because they'll consider you like a friend, you know. If you use their exact words, their exact expressions, they'll instantly, subconsciously feel that they're talking to a friend, that a friend is talking to them, right? And they will instantly trust you more, they instantly like you more, and they will instantly buy more from you. So your conversion rates will skyrocket only by doing this. So pay attention on how your avatar speaks and write those things down, right? Because they're going to use them inside your copy. So yeah, that's a bonus tip for you. Now, that was the avatar research, right? Now, step 2 is the product research. So in order to promote a product, you need to understand the product. So I've written here 3 steps, 3 main things that we need to understand about the product in order to be able to promote it in an effective way, right? So first of all, you need to find out what's the USP of the product. the unique selling proposition. And if you don't know this term, I'm going to talk about it in the next slide, so don't worry about it. I got you covered, all right? Now, the second step is you need to identify how is it different from other similar products or services. So basically, that's the unique mechanism, how the product works, why it works, and why is it different than all the other stuff they tried before. Because people who have a problem, they've probably tried a bunch of things before to solve that problem, right? You're not going to be the first option that they try, right? They probably tried a bunch of things before. They failed a bunch of times. They probably already lost faith. So you need to be very, very convincing that this stuff is actually different, that this stuff is actually going to solve the problem for good. Because if you can't do this, they think, yeah, it's just another product, right? It's just another service that will not bring me results. I'll just waste my fucking money, waste my fucking time. So I'd better not buy it, right? So this is very important. Identify how is it different. And after that, we need to identify how does it help the avatar exactly achieve his desired dream state. Now I'm going to talk about each one of these steps in particular. So we start with the USP. So the unique selling proposition is the distinct benefit or core advantage that makes your product, service, or brand stand out from the competition. So think of it like this. Think of it like a phrase that includes the benefits of your product and the uniqueness of your product, right? So I'm going to give a few examples now, don't worry. You're going to understand this. So let's go with the weight loss coaching example again. So this would be an example for a USP. I help men build 8 to 10 kilograms of lean muscle in 90 days using a little no muscle confusion training method that keeps the body growing and eliminates plateaus. Right? So if you read this phrase, there is a specific outcome, there is a specific time frame for the outcome, there is also curiosity or intrigue included, there is also a big benefit included, and there is also uniqueness, because as you can see, using a little known muscle confusion training is little known, no one knows about it, only a few select people know about it, right? So that's the uniqueness part. Little known method. What's this little known method? I need to know this. I need to buy this. I need the fucking 10 kilograms of muscle in 90 days. Muscle confusion, what's this? I need to know more. I need to buy. Boom. They buy. You make money. Your customer makes money. Everyone is happy. Boom. Done. All right? Another example can be for FedEx. You know, this is like a big brand. So when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight. So the USP of FedEx is basically they come as fast as possible, right? They're reliable and they deliver as fast as possible. So that's basically their USP. Domino's Pizza, fresh hot pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less, or it's free, right? That's their USP. So you need to identify or create the USP for your product before you write about it. You need to know the USP, right? Or create the USP. And you can be creative with this. You don't need to fucking, have a unique product that no one else has, You can package it in a unique way. You can package anything in a unique way, right? So let's say, let's say you're promoting an energy drink, all right? So you can say this is the only energy drink that you can drink and have energy for more than 2 hours and not have a crash afterwards, right? Some bullshit like that just came out of my mind, So think of a USP, package it in a unique way, and you'll make more money, you'll attract more attention, people will be more interested in your product, and you just make more money, bro. So create your USP, right? It's very important. Now, the next step in the product research is you need to identify how is it different from other products or services. So that's the unique mechanism, right? So it's essentially the secret sauce or the unique selling points that explains why your product works or why it delivers superior results. Give it a name. That's very important. Give a name for a unique mechanism. Naming your mechanism makes it feel unique, makes it feel special, makes it feel official and credible, right? So let's say, for example, the P90X workout program, maybe you've heard of it, it's pretty popular. It uses a concept of muscle confusion to explain why its workouts are more effective. So the unique mechanism is called muscle confusion, right? And the explanation of the unique mechanism is P90X constantly switches up exercises intensity, movement patterns to confuse your muscles and keep the body growing stronger and leaner, right? So that's a concept like everyone fucking knows about this concept. You know, you need to switch up exercises in order to grow. You know, you're not gonna do fucking the same exercises every time. I mean, everyone who went to the gym knows about this stuff, right? But the guys who created, you know, the marketing around this program called it muscle confusion and packaged it as something unique that no one has ever done before. It's not fucking unique. Everyone knows about it, but they packaged it in a way that seems unique. And guess what? They probably made millions of fucking dollars with it, at a minimum. So keep that in mind, create and name your unique mechanism, and again, you're gonna make more money. Now, the next thing is, how does the product help the avatar achieve his desired dream state? So, another example for the P90X coaching program. The P90X coaching program gives you a personalized workout program based on your needs, one-on-one support, etc. So you put 10 kilograms of muscle mass in the next 90 days. So you see what I did here? I actually told them how the product will help them get to their specific result, right? In that specific time frame. So how does it help them? They give you personalized workout program, they give you a one-on-one support, everything is personalized based on your needs, and you put 10 kilograms of mass in the next 90 days, right? So I'm showing them how this program actually works, how this program brings them results, right? So hope you fuckers took notes, because if you do this, if you go through this process every time before writing any copy, do your research, know your target audience and the product you're marketing, you're basically gonna win the copywriting game. And guess what? You make a ton more money with this. So if you haven't been doing this before, trust me, take the time and effort to do this. You know, I actually spend around at least a few days only doing research for any client that I take on, you know. Most of the time I spend like 1 to 2 weeks only for the research, especially if I don't know about the niche, you know. So maybe if it's a niche like, you know, fitness, which I know a little bit, you know, I don't spend that much time. But if there's a niche like, you know, I have a law of attraction coach, I didn't know shit about the law of attraction. So I spent like, you know, 2 weeks researching everything I fucking could about the law of attraction, how it works. You know, I've read books, I've you know, watched testimonials, watched sales calls from my client, you know, watch fucking movies about the law of attraction, you know, search on fucking forums, research everything I could about the avatar, about the product, about how it works and everything. And guess what? I got from knowing absolutely nothing about the law of attraction to bringing millions of dollars for this client in the span of a few months, right? So that's how powerful research is. If I haven't done my research, maybe I would have made him some money, but I assure you, I wouldn't have made him nearly as much money as I made him, right? So do your fucking research, right? And thank me later. So even if you're a shit writer, you will still make more money if you have your research on point. Keep that in mind. You can be the worst fucking writer in the fucking world. If you actually show your avatar that you understand him, and if you actually use all of those things that I taught you, you know, his pains, his dream state, his fucking roadblocks, everything. If you actually use all of those things in your copy, you make more money than let's say a top level writer that doesn't have his research on point, right? So that's how important, that's how powerful research is. Now, of course, being good at writing will help even more. I'm not saying being good at writing doesn't help, but what I'm saying is research is 80% of copywriting. So keep that in your mind. Now, I'm also going to give you a bonus resource for sticking till this point. So I'm gonna give you a market research template. You can actually find it in the video description. So this will help you do your research and package your research in a efficient and concise way. I'm actually gonna show it to you. So this is the market research template. You can download this Google Doc inside the video description. So this is like every question you need to answer about your avatar and about the product you're promoting in order to be able to promote it in the most efficient way possible. So you're gonna gather all the information possible, like I've taught you inside this video, and you're gonna answer all of these questions before writing any word of copy, right? So before writing anything, you're gonna do your research, you're gonna fucking answer all of these questions about the avatar. So the painful current state, the desirable dream state, his problems, his values and beliefs. How does the solution solve the problem? Only after answering all of these questions, you are gonna begin writing it. And you're gonna use all of these answers inside your copy. All right? So download it in the video description and thank me later, right? All right, so now, if you want to make 10 to 20K a month plus as a copywriter with 20 hours of work a week, I can help you, all right? So, if you want to learn how to get copywriting clients that happily pay you 10% of their revenue, like I do, if you want to learn how to build marketing campaigns that generate sales on autopilot, passively, so you pocket commissions for months and months on end without working more. You actually build a campaign once, you build some ads, you write a fucking sales page, you write a fucking, lead magnet, you write a fucking webinar presentation once, and then it produces you money for months and months on end, maybe even years, right? Without you doing anything else. So if you want to learn how to do this, if you want to learn how to manage your clients so you don't have to work more than 20 hours a week to make 10 to 20K per month, like I do, living in fucking Bangkok, Thailand, working for maximum 20 hours a week, living my fucking life, while others are writing 70 emails per week, Even if they're making $20,000 a month, we're writing fucking 70 emails a week. You don't have a life, all right? So if you want to learn how to actually do this, how to build campaigns that generate sales on autopilot, like I do, like people that I work with do, all right? You can apply for my one-on-one mentorship. There's a link in the description. Now, don't apply if you're not serious, all right? I don't like wasting time because I talk to each applicant personally, all right? I will talk to you personally. You'll be able to schedule a call with me after answering a few questions, and we'll talk about how I can help you reach 10 to 20K a month in the next 6 to 12 months, all right? And I'll be working one-on-one with you, and I'll make sure you achieve these results, right? Now, don't apply if you think this is free. This is not free. You need a minimum of $500 per month in order to work with me. That's a minimum, all right? So if you're broke, if you don't have $500, or if you don't want to invest in yourself, don't waste my time, all right? But if you're serious, if you have at least $500 a month to invest, you can apply here, all right? I'll talk to you personally. We'll see if you're a good fit, and maybe we'll begin working together, and I'll help you like I've helped many others, all right? So these are my results. I've shown you before, $88,000 made only this year until April. So from January until April, making around $25,000 a month, right? While working 20 hours a week. This is me 2 years ago, fucking working as a delivery driver. This is me now, living my life in Thailand, making, literally having $1,000 days from a fucking boat, all right? So these are the results you can achieve, because once you build those marketing campaigns, like I've said, you're gonna make money on autopilot, all right? You don't need to write fucking 70 emails a week to make money with copywriting. You just need to work smart. So these are Lucian's results. So Lucian is actually 15 years old. He's in high school, and he made $700 last month while in high school. Now these are Mihai's results. From a broke construction worker to making 10K a month plus in 6 months, right? He's actually living with me in Thailand right now. He's here in Bangkok. That's how your life can change if you actually have a good mentor, if you actually follow the right steps, follow the right system, right? And do the work. That's how much your life can change, right? So, yeah. If you want to work with me, if you want to find out more, apply to the link in the description. Only if you're serious, all right? And yeah, I'll see you there. So if you apply all of the things I've taught you in this video, you'll probably make a ton more money. So yeah, see you in the next one.